All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a trade video. It's between the Houston Rockets and the Chicago Bulls. Now, before we get into this video, this is a very interesting trade, okay? You can see this Rocket flag here in the back, but I also live in Chicago, so I am a Chicago Bulls fan and I am a Houston Rockets fan. And this trade is very, very interesting. From the Rockets' perspective, I do not think this is something that they should get into, but here's the trade. It is Christian Wood for Coby White, Patrick Williams, first-round pick from the Portland Trail Blazers, and that's about it. That's about it. Maybe a second-round pick somewhere in there, but that is pretty much the trade. Now, from Chicago's standpoint, this is as good as it gets. I think from Chicago's view, if they're trying to go all in this season, which they seem to be buyers at the deadline, that's what the reports are coming out as. So it seems like they're going to be buyers. This puts them over the hump. I mean, this kind of cements the Bulls as an obvious contender. And I think in order for them to get a star, another star, maybe not even like a star, but a star type of player, someone you can rely on somewhat consistently. A guy like Christian Wood, 16 and 11 on the season, he'll get you some blocks. I mean, this would put the Chicago Bulls as like a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, confirmed. Now, they would still probably make some moves. They would probably still do something, try and get some more, maybe another guard. But right now, I mean, they need front court depth. And Christian Wood, while he does have some defensive issues, he is at the very worst, an average defender. Now, from the Houston Rockets side, it's not enticing enough for me. I like the first round pick. The Portland Trail Blazers next year, I mean, they're probably not going to win the championship. But I think from the Rockets standpoint, from a Rockets fan standpoint, they're looking more for like a lottery-esque draft pick for Christian Wood. So that's kind of the compensation for that is Coby White and Patrick Williams, who are both lottery picks. So you could view it as you're almost getting like 3 first-round draft picks. Also, something that should be said is if you're trading away Christian Wood, the Rockets are essentially trading away their best player. And they would do this because he either just doesn't fit the timeline or they're just not liking what they're seeing enough. I mean, this is probably the highest his trade value will go some point in this season. He's on an extremely team-friendly contract, $13 million. It's like $14 million next season. So I saw this video from Bulls Central proposing this trade, and I'm like, this is really interesting. But from the Rockets standpoint, I just don't think that I've seen enough from either Coby White or Patrick Williams to be content with this trade. Because, like I said, Christian Wood, 20 and 10 last season, 21 and 10 last season. This year, 16 and a half, 11 and a half. He's putting up all-star type numbers. If you can get a trade from a team like the Golden State Warriors where they're giving you 2 out of these 3 players, Jonathan Kuminga, James Wiseman, and Moses Moody, like if you're getting Moses Moody, Kuminga, and a first-round pick from the Golden State Warriors because they've convinced themselves that they're making a run at the finals as well and they need a little bit more help, that's something that would entice me a little bit more. This would be more, I would be more viewing, I think I would be more accepting of this trade next season. The issue is Coby White this year has been dealing with just a ton of, started the season with an injury after having shoulder surgery in the offseason, and then he got placed on the COVID. So we've seen 9 games from Coby White. He's averaging 17 minutes, and he's only putting up 6 points per game. Now, if we had Coby White last season where he's putting up 15, 5, and 5, we probably have a different conversation there, right? Patrick Williams is another issue because he's out for the year. Last season, I didn't see enough from Patrick Williams where I'm convinced I'd want him to be our franchise small forward. I'm looking for a franchise small forward in return for Christian Wood, hence Jonathan Kuminga. Like if you have the opportunity to get Jonathan Kuminga and throw him in your starting lineup, I'd rather do that than Patrick Williams. I'm not trying to say Patrick Williams isn't exciting, isn't promising, doesn't have potential, but last season, he averaged like 9 points per game. Obviously, the defense is there, but I like Jae'Sean Tate. I like KJ Martin. I just don't think that Patrick Williams is enough to get this trade going for me. I do like Coby White. I do like Patrick. But from the Bulls' standpoint, you're trading away your two most valuable assets. And I do believe that one of these two players, Coby White or Patrick Williams, will be traded at some point this season because, like I said, the Bulls have the most exciting team I've seen since the Derrick Rose days. And Coby White, Patrick Williams, they're your two very young players on they're on rookie contracts, so they're on very team-friendly contracts. That's what they're using as their leverage. So I anticipate if the Bulls do end up trading Coby White or Patrick Williams, they can get a star in return, or at least a star-esque player, a guy like Christian Wood, a borderline type of all-star guy. But Christian Wood, as I was alluding to earlier in the video, he puts the Bulls over the top. In my opinion, I don't think it's even close. You have a starting lineup of Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Christian Wood, and Nikola Vucevic. I don't know what you couldn't do. I really don't know what you couldn't do. And what Bulls Central was saying in his videos, the Bulls are going to be active in that buyout market. I don't think Kevin Love is going to be available, but the Bulls wouldn't be done if they traded away Coby White and Patrick Williams and a future first-round pick for Christian Wood. They would still try and target that bench and try and get some more depth in any way they can, whether that's through trade, whether that's through the buyout market. So From a Bulls fan standpoint, this is a risk I'd be willing to take. This is definitely a risk because Christian Wood's not a rental. You're not just renting out Christian Wood for this season. You have Christian Wood for a whole nother year. So you get at least a year and a half of Christian Wood, who is in his prime. I want to utilize Vucevic's prime. I want to utilize the way DeRozan's playing. I want to make sure Zach LaVine comes back to Chicago. I want Lonzo Ball to be in the best position he can thrive. And then you have Mr. Six-Man dual threat X Factor, Alex Caruso, coming off the bench. So from Bulls' standpoint, this is an immediate yes for me. From a Rockets standpoint, this trade would do something to me probably next year where I'm thinking, we could get Coby White, Patrick Williams, and a first-round pick for Christian Wood, who's probably either going to leave in free agency or want a max-esque contract that I'm not willing to pay him unless he shows me he can step up when he really needs to. But on a team like the Chicago Bulls, he doesn't have to be the number one option. That's why I think he struggles against guys like Giannis Antetokounmpo, because there's so much. The Rockets are relying and leaning on Christian Wood so much that I don't think he's a number one option. I think he's a number 3 option, and even like a number 3A, 3B with DeMar DeRozan there, or even the 4th option. Like, that's where I think he would really, really thrive. So that's it for today, guys. I want to hear your opinions down below. If you're a Rocket fan, if you're a Bulls fan, let me know down below in the comment section, or if you're just an NBA fan. Most importantly, though, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys later.